Welcome to Season 3, Episode 16 of the Film Bros Championship Podcast. I am Tim, and with me is my co-host, Patrick. How you doing, buddy?
I'm not happy. Not happy.
No.
This movie is bad.
Yeah.
This is the worst movie we've ever watched.
At
I'd rather watch Sorceress twice in a row than watch this thing ever again.
least Sorceress had boobs.
This movie has boobs. Too many, in fact.
You're right.
It literally had me rolling my eyes at the nudity in this movie.
You're so right. No, this was bad. This was really, really bad. I apologize. This, I usually yell back at you. It's your list and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, no, this one I'm gonna take the L. It was gonna be somebody's L, but we could have put this off a little bit longer. You said it. You were real worried about this one, and I was like, "Come on, how bad could it be?" It's rough.
It somehow has a 5% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, and Rotten Tomatoes sucks. It just does. It's just like an average of scores of if the critics say positive things or not. Anyway, it's garbage. In this case, too high, 5%.
Yeah, you know what? So anyway, it was we only saw an unrated version, right? Because it was the only way you can rent it. On
and
Amazon
standard definition.
And standard, and that's why I was going to bring this up, because at first I turned the movie and I was like, wow, man, standard is getting rough these days now that we've gotten so much better in quality. And I lost track real early on how bad the quality was, because I was not my focus anymore, because that was hardly the problem with this movie.
It's like if so we watched College.
Yes.
And it's like somebody grew up watching Skinamax movies,
I guess,
from the 80s, and decided I can go harder.
To me, it almost it felt like I wouldn't even say high schooler is fair. Like a kid going through puberty. Write me a script, kid. What you think college is like?
Yeah, it's like if you only grew up watching 80s sex comedies.
Right.
This is what I guess you would imagine college is like.
It's so bad and over the top, and in all the worst ways.
And with all bad characters, everybody's like, well, that sucks. Oh, this person's. Oh my God, that's the worst character we've ever run into. This is awful.
Yeah.
My guy Carter there. I
hated him.
I hate him with the passion of 1,000 fiery suns or whatever. I was.
Yes.
It's like, why didn't anybody stop and say why to any of this?
There's so many times where you could.
It's unbelievable how bad this movie is.
It's
not even fun bad. It's just
not.
On every level, just I can't laugh at it because I am too busy being angry at it.
Yeah. There is no real moment to laugh at it.
I had one moment where I laughed just because I was so surprised.
Wow.
I know. Yeah, I know.
I did not even chuckle or smirk once.
And I'm not surprised. No, I don't blame you.
And I usually will give it some kind of credit somewhere where I kind of chuckled here. So even what just happened, I did that for. I had none here. Really none.
Boy, does What Just Happened and Sunshine Cleaning look like hilarious movies right now. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a bit of a list change for me. That's for sure. I don't think War Inc.'s got anything to worry about being last anymore.
No, we definitely have a new bottom. This is
right from the top. Sorry for giving it away, everybody. This is rough.
This is awful.
It's more reasons to feel bad for that Nickelodeon kid, I guess.
Yeah, poor Drake Bell. Oh, that's his name, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Drake
Not
Bell.
that he's particularly doing himself any favors, but still.
Well, yeah, I tried watching the Nickelodeon documentary, and I felt like I only got through one episode, and I felt like I needed to shower with a Brillo pad afterwards.
Yeah, so I only saw clips on TikTok.
Feel awful for everybody involved in that situation. Just
for sure.
Awful.
Yeah.
But this movie is terrible. Anyway, so we should just get into it so we can get it over with.
Yeah. Okay. So this is your choice. So this is my choice. So we got 3 friends. Kind of. They're kind of friends with each other.
Are they?
I don't know. It's undetermined. It's unclear whether they actually like each other or not. But anyway, one of them gets dumped and for being stick in the mud, basically. And so he's gonna go on this college trip with his buddies to really let it loose and show that girl that he knows how to have some fun. And that's the movie.
Yeah. In a world where college people can't tell the difference between high school people and college people.
Yeah. And
I don't know about you, but like I could always spot you can tell when you're a upperclassman, you know exactly if you see a lower, a freshman or a sophomore, and you definitely can spot a high schooler. Just like, for sure. No way, this one.
Well, it's funny.
But I guess if you cast everybody in their 20s, it's no big deal.
So I was on a trip recently and I'm not gonna name names, but anyway, so we were at the pool and somebody comes up to me and is like, "Hey, check these girls out," and I go, like, "Yeah, they're in high school." "No, they're not. They could be college." "No, they're in high school." And then all of a sudden, conversation struck up, and it's like, "Oh, what school do you guys go to?" It's like, "Oh, we're in high school." And I just stare. I'm like, there it is. He's like, "Shut up, you're a school teacher. That's why you know." I'm like, I don't know, man. They just look like high schoolers.
They all look like children to me now. Like I truly,
yeah.
Like, when I was in middle school, high school, I could almost understand the idea. I couldn't almost. I understood the idea of being attracted to like high schoolers, but now that I am 40, I'm like, what? That's a child. What is wrong with you? Absolutely not.
See, I don't know. There's more and more people I feel like it becomes really true. Like you're just attracted to the people that are your age.
Yeah.
And when they're not your age, something's off. I know that's not true for everybody, but I feel like for a lot of people, that's kind of the gist.
Yeah.
They're playing the high school, and this was a weird return of the saying pre-frosh. Yeah, why are we saying it like that? What? The last time I heard that was PCU, which is a great movie.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, I heard that term
great movie, but that's the only, besides PCU, I've never heard that uttered ever.
Nor I.
And so it's just and we both went to college, so it was just weird to hear and them saying it in that same cadence, pre-frosh. It's like, what? There was a few times this movie where somebody was doing a voice, and I'm like, wait, why? They're doing it again. Why are we doing this?
All right. So our lead is Kevin Brewer, played by Drake Bell.
Yeah.
He's a wholesome photography dork who is more interested in taking pictures, playing mini golf, and camping rather than drinking and partying. When his girlfriend Gina breaks up with him because he's boring and she wants to enjoy her senior year, Kevin decides to make the most of his college visit this weekend and party up with his quote-unquote best friends, Morris and fucking Carter.
And Carter. Yep.
I got nothing else to say about Kevin because that's it. That's all there is to him.
Yeah. I mean, I guess because they kind of set up single mom type thing, and he helps out with his 2 younger sisters. Yep. So, and he's got this whole plan, and he seems real responsible, nice guy, and totally thrown by Gina saying like, yeah, everything we've been doing has been boring. Which to be honest, from everything I'm hearing, Gina seems kind of fair.
I thought it was a bit harsh when she called him a fucking loser, but
yeah, it did go a bit harsh there towards the end.
Boring seemed fair, yeah.
But yeah, I think she had kind of a point. And to be honest, him being like showing her videos, which I didn't even know those phones could really do stuff like that at that point. But
sure.
But showing her a bunch of videos of him having fun, and then her being like, "Oh yeah, like cool. He knows how to have fun now. So let's get back together since you clearly do know how to have fun. And which I, again, think is fair, because otherwise she didn't have a problem with him other than he not having fun. And like, oh, looks like he's fun. And then, kind of like a jerk mean back to her. So I'm like, I still think this dude is in the wrong.
He did all that stuff, but he claims to have not really enjoyed it. He's like, I like me. So
I don't know. You looked like you were having fun.
I certainly did.
Yeah. I don't know exactly what he did to deserve the college girl's interest either, but just not be Teague, I guess, was his achievement.
I guess so. I guess all the guys in college are just like Teague.
I guess so. Well, if you're in a sorority next to a bunch of fraternities and the stereotypes, I guess. I don't know,
man. All right, let's Morris Hooper.
Probably the best one out of all of them.
I guess. Played by...
If you have to choose.
I would probably actually pick Kevin if I had to choose.
Okay, fair enough.
So Morris Hooper is played by Kevin Covace, and he is just a cliche, man. Typical movie nerd.
Yeah.
We don't know much about him, except that we're told he's smart multiple times. And we know it's true because he has a lot of textbooks.
Right, and says he's gifted and such.
And at one point in the movie, he rigs beer kegs to a fire sprinklers, and he says it'll work because it's physics. Pretty sure there's more to it than that, buddy. But
pretty sure.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Morris is under a lot of pressure from his parents to get a scholarship from Fieldmont University, and because they both attended there, so he has no interest in drinking or partying, but does it anyway when peer pressure.
Repeatedly.
So, yeah. That's it for Morris. That's his character. That's all you need to know.
Yep.
Eventually, he decides that he would rather party and drink than
study. He learned all the wrong lessons.
It really
basically. Yeah. I mean, they kind of almost all did, right? Carter, our worst character of this movie.
Carter Scott.
Is just wanting to have fun and be irresponsible, but he secretly is a virgin, wants to get laid, and he gets everything he wants. The end. He continues that.
He's played by Andrew Lewis Caldwell. And
he's awful.
And Carter is the worst human being alive.
Yeah.
I can't blame the actor because, as written, this guy is just a massive dick.
Yeah.
I think the actor was told to think of Jack Black while figuring out the character, but he doesn't have Jack's charm. And even if he
Jack
did,
Black is maliciously mean.
It's an impossible task. Impossible.
Do you think it was like scripted as is? Like, in here, you're just going to get up and kick Morris in the butt,
in the face,
or in the face, or do you think that was scripted or just like?
I think it was scripted. Yes. I don't think this movie had the time to do that kind of stuff. Anyway, Carter is crass, loud, obnoxious bully, and I can't figure out why anyone is friends with him.
It's a shocker that girl takes interest in him.
Oh, it's beyond shocking. He doesn't
make any sense.
He doesn't seem to have any interest in going to college, but after a friend tells him that there is drinking, drugs, and girls there, he decides it might be worth his time. He joins Kevin and Morris on the trip. I don't know why he was not aware of this information prior. But
they have this weird thought of like, oh, it's just college. It's where people just go to learn and there's nothing going on. It's like, what?
It's like this movie presupposes that nobody's made a movie about college before. It's
right.
Anyway, he's also a homophobe. And I have to see this guy's ass way too many times.
Yep.
He has a habit of miming sexual gestures to underline jokes, and that aren't funny, and he's just annoying.
The whole way through.
So he mentions a blowjob, so he has to mime
right.
Blowjob. Jerking off, same thing. Oh, and this fucker is wearing jorts and buckle strap sandals the whole time, and acting, and somehow women are attracted to him. Just
somehow. I don't get it. To be honest, I don't really understand how any female is, because each one gets female attraction and interest.
Well, and Kevin's got great hair. I'll give that to Drake Bell. Great
hair.
Fantastic
I guess.
He's a good-looking guy.
They got nothing really going on. They're not, most of them, at least two out of the three, not particularly attractive people. They
That's fair.
Again, don't have much personality whatsoever.
That's also fair.
And somehow these girls are just really interested.
These like sophomore girls are interested in these high school junior boys.
Yeah. Oh no, they're seniors. I think they're talking about their senior year.
They're going into their senior year.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's like maybe like fall of senior year, basically.
You're probably right. Yeah. The beginning of senior year. But still, it's like, what?
Yeah. No, yeah. Makes no sense. It's terrible. All right. So what do you give this category of hero?
It's a 1. It's a 1.
For Drake Bell's hair, I went 1.5.
I respect that.
Okay. Yeah. It's doing a lot. It's doing a lot for this category.
It's really good hair. I can't lie.
It's nice hair, dude.
I could never pull that hair off. I wish I could.
Yeah. There's like Devon Sawa, like 90s, like it's only so many people can pull that off,
That's like Sawa Casper.
Yeah, exactly. Or Little Giants.
Did he have that hair in Little Giants? It's been a long time since Little Giants. No one clips for Little Giants as much on the internet.
No, they should, though.
Well, except for the annexation of Puerto Rico. That's all I ever see.
There's actually a lot of good stuff in that movie. It's a little underrated there. How long did you give me crap about my Cheeto eating because of the beginning of that movie?
I'm sorry. I'm still too angry at you for being a Cowboy fan growing up.
That's why I didn't really care about any of it. So, but fair.
All right. So that's a 1. So let's
1.5 for me, but yeah.
All right. Let's get to the next category. So I laughed once in this movie, and I'm gonna.
Yeah, do tell, because I got nothing.
I'm gonna hit this one part, and then I'll get into stuff that just made me angry. So I was supposed to laugh at it.
That's kind of all we got to go with.
It's kind of all I got. So there's this random transition scene where we get Teague talking to Goose, on the porch of the frat house, and mid-conversation, and we only catch him mid-conversation, and Teague kind of yells at him, like, "What the fuck do you know about welfare reform?" And that's it.
I missed this part?
And it's just it got a genuine laugh out of me because it's so random. Like, what?
Okay.
Because
I think I missed that. I don't recall that at all.
I don't blame you for wanting to look at your phone or look at anything else or think about anywhere else while you're watching this movie.
There was one point, probably the angriest I got is when I did have to pause for whatever reason. And I was like, that's it? That's all I've gotten through?
I had to take breaks. Like I was telling you, sat through this thing in one sitting.
I did.
Which is
one sitting.
You're a goddamn
I did
masochist.
pause for a second, but yeah, I did.
I nearly took up the entire 48-hour rental on Amazon to watch this. It's like
my thing is if I did this at night, it was like I did it at nighttime, and I was worried I was gonna fall asleep, and it's just, and then I had to try to go backtracking again. I was like, I don't want to do that, so I saw this in daylight, just broad daylight, middle afternoon, and I just knocked it out, and it was not pleasant.
All right, so the first thing that kind of pissed me off is our man Fletcher, who describes his weekend visiting a college.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't sleep for 3 days, okay? I don't have any money left in my bank account. I maxed out my parents' credit card, which is only supposed to be used in case of emergency. I lost my cell phone, which is actually my dad's cell phone, so he's pissed about that and the credit card. I tried smoking a tampon, which I thought was a big fat joint. Still got high. Stole a car.
Yeah.
Got in a bar fight. Ate some goldfish. Played naked frisbee. Did some whippets. Wet my brother's bed twice. Shit my pants once, but please don't tell anyone because I'm kind of embarrassed about that. Saw 2 girls make out with tongue. With tongue! Watched my brother's roommate eat as many cheeseburgers as they could until one of them puked. Found a tattoo on my lower back of a unicorn. Don't remember getting that. Figure I'll just tell people it's some kind of killer unicorn, because it doesn't seem so gay. I laughed. I cried. I fell in love. Oh, yeah. And did I mention earlier that I got laid 3 times? Different girls? Yeah. So all in all, it was pretty much the best weekend of my fucking life. And I couldn't help but think of Jonathan Frakes doing the Ripley's Believe It or Not show. It's never happened.
Yeah.
Just nope.
No. Not at all.
Not a thing.
Yeah, and It's for some odd reason. I even going through all that, I was still. It's like smoked a tampon and still got high. What?
Yeah.
Like I'm just. What is that line? Like I
don't know, man.
I don't know.
I was just kind of in awe of it. Like, what college? What? No.
Yeah. Yeah. In one weekend. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Next one. From my man Carter.
No.
Morris, we're in college now, which means no parents, no curfew, and free fucking beer. And it doesn't get better than this. Sir, where is this free beer you speak of?
Yeah.
That was not my college experience.
Well, I guess it's he's in a world of reality as he end up basically paying for most of the beer that they drink this weekend.
At some point, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like why I feel like it's written by a boy going through puberty explaining what he thinks college is like.
It's exactly, yeah, definitely never been to college when they were writing this thing. I mean, like, I think there was I think the first, like, when they went to the gay frat, there was like a cover charge for like $5, but that was the only one that ever charged that we saw. I'm like, what?
No, it was when they tried to go in the bar.
Well, there was that too. I thought, okay,
oh, yeah.
So like none of the frats charged, is that what we're saying?
I don't think so, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they
don't give that shit away for free, man.
No, yeah, unless you're the sorority, and usually it's them taking turns on the social and like who's covering what. But yeah, no, it's ridiculous. Usually the cover is I found was cheaper a lot of times at a frat party than it was at a bar, but still prefer to go to the bar personally.
I was definitely a bigger fan of the bar scene. Yeah, because the beer was cold and plentiful at a bar.
For sure. Because, you also just better, right? Because, like, I'd rather, like, dollar bottles at of Miller Lights or whatever on a Thursday than, like, go to the fraternity and you're drinking Red Dog that's, like, a little too warm. It's like, this is gross.
Busch Light if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky. Exactly. Good Lord. I hated Red Dog, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's utterly ridiculous. I mean, I guess maybe when they start talking to the girls randomly when they first get there, and then he has time to like go and beat up Morris, who lets it go that they're in high school, because somehow whatever Carter's saying beforehand is somehow working.
Is it the farts thing? I don't. Oh no!
Well, no, it was before the fart.
That's right. Yeah, no, I'm remembering this. Yeah.
Whatever he's saying to them beforehand is somehow working until Morris rolls down. Is like, yeah, we're here and we're high schoolers, and then he goes back, punches him a few times, comes back up, and then they're just like, bye, and then he does the fart thing, which was.
And honestly, it's a more realistic reaction of like if a high schooler comes up to a college girl, it's like, oh, absolutely not. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Yeah.
Right.
But like, I don't know if you saw that there's outtakes at the end.
I did not watch them.
I didn't. I was finishing my notes as it was still going, so I kind of watched them. There's outtakes of different versions of that fart thing, which tells me they just let him, whatever you think is funny, buddy. We're gonna record a whole bunch of stuff.
Sure, it wasn't just him screwing up lines. That was actually like.
Pretty sure, because it's like different. Well, I mean, there's different variations of variety of farting in different ways.
Cool. Let's move on. I don't
it's
want
awful.
to think about it anymore.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna get into some actual kind of good stuff. Almost.
What?
Yeah, hold on. Follow with me.
Okay.
Here. Carter walking by some girls. You chicks are smoking hot. Yeah. And then Kevin smacks him in the back of the head for it. And I'm like. More of this.
Yeah, why wasn't that done more often?
Exactly right. That's where I'm like, I like this.
I'm pretty sure it's like the one and only time that's done, even though there's so many more lines of it.
Well,
him doing shit like that.
For real. The only other time really is when my man Bearcat gets involved in this movie.
Oh, Bearcat.
So this actually did. I forgot. This got me a laugh out of me too.
Wow.
It's because it's against Carter. So the guys are allowed to stay at this frat, and the frat just wants to torture them. And
because they can't have any more pledges because they're on probation. So they think the pre-frosh gives them the same thing. You know, and Bearcat is an incredibly old person, and all he lives for is hazing. So he's excited.
So they're shown down to the basement, aka the dungeon, where the pledges are forced to stay. And after the frat guys leave, Carter starts to ask, "What the fuck is up with?" And then Bearcat jumps in with, "Are you talking?" And he's like, "No, man, I'm chilling. What? Yeah, shut the fuck up."
Pre-frosh. I think he does pre-frosh again.
Yeah, just like, anytime someone just tells Carter to shut the fuck up, I am laughing and enjoying it. It's like, more of this.
Yeah, except for like later where like he has to like clean the place, and like he cleans, and then some, I guess, frat guy just throws a cup down, and then he just knocks him out and runs after him. It's like, why didn't the rest of the frat just beat this kid up for punching one of the frat mates?
Right?
I don't like. Why are you afraid of this Carter kid? Like, I don't get it.
It looked like he was smaller than Carter too. It's like he's another high schooler, just something to come by and throw something.
Yeah,
on
it
the
looked
floor.
like, can we get the scrawniest college kid we know? So it looks like Carter should be able to wipe the floor with him or something.
Okay, so let's get back to this stuff that pisses me off.
No, I guess so.
Carter tries to flirt at the frat party and says, "Hey, there's a laundry room back there. Want to make out?" And the girl is disgusted and says, "Are you serious? I haven't heard a line like that since high school."
Oh, yeah.
And as she walks away, Carter yells, "You got flat tits!" Charmer as ever.
What the hell is that?
I don't know, man.
How is that, like, again, it's like another moment of, like, is there people laughing to this? Did we laugh in the editing room for that moment?
I
like,
didn't have time to get angry at this because of what happens right after.
I guess, because that just seems like a moment of, like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, right?
Like, why is anybody friends with you? I don't understand. Like, who says that? Be cool. What the hell's wrong with you?
Well, then another random hot girl walks by and says, "Do you mind?" and downs Carter's beer. And then gives him a look to follow her up the stairs because everything he's done up to now it really is just hot, I guess.
Somehow.
So Carter and this hot chick we later find out it was Amy, start making out, and he tears open her shirt, and she doesn't say shit, which, no.
Yeah, she's totally cool with that.
And then they hear somebody coming, so they hide for some reason under the bed.
I thought that was a great point. I said the same note. Like, why do they feel the need to hide?
I don't know.
Do they think the parents are coming home? I don't get this.
It turns out it's two girls who are going to hook up and get naked. And after hooking up, the girls leave, and Bearcat walks in, and one of the girls left her vibrator on the bed. And Bearcat exclaims, "Oh, Christmas came early," and starts using the vibrator. And the whole time...
And does his, like, Wookiee thing for, like, 2 out of the 3 times or whatever he does it or whatever. I don't know.
And the whole time, like, Carter and Amy are underneath the bed, and we're licking at their faces during all of this, and they're either, like, really turned on or disgusted. And it's just...
Well, they're turned on during the lesbian thing, and they're disgusted during the Bearcat stuff, and then you find them all in the same bed somehow.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. Because it doesn't sound like anything happened with anybody.
No, nothing happened.
They just decided to get up from under the bed and then just get in bed with Bearcat and all cuddle up, which is like, okay. Yeah. And I guess at some point you get the reveal that Amy is also a high school person.
Yeah.
Yet looks the oldest out of all the female characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's utterly bizarre. I mean, it's like this, like
I guess it's how they explain away why maybe she would. So even like an incredibly attractive high school girl visiting a college is gonna go for this guy?
Yeah, no.
I really doubt it. A Teague would make sense.
Sure, yeah.
But this guy?
Frat guy who wants to go easy pickings off of a super young girl. That would have made sense, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, but this makes no sense.
No. You got Morris and another girl, Heather, who he said hi to earlier.
And somehow she's immediately like smitten by him saying hi. Because it's that way the whole rest of the movie.
They get high off of nitrous-filled balloons together. And
right.
They start making out. and she starts to give him a hand job, and he says, "Oh, that feels so good. Your hands are like butter."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And then she
two
passes
bags
out.
of sand.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
exactly
that kind
right.
of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Passes out on his couch, and that's when he sees a cop car. So then he freaks out and runs in, and then he gets his face smashed by a freezer door by Bearcat, who just spills some beer as he opens and keeps on walking because nobody cares.
And I'm fast forwarding to the sorority that the girls that the guys hooked up with is raising money by giving a bikini body wash in a foldable pool in the front yard. The girl in the pool is sponging off the guys, is topless, and one guy has a snorkel in the background. What?
This is during the amazing daylight. Amount of people who are just topless, and like they get into the fraternity party like right from the beginning, and just a girl just comes up and flashes them and then moves on. Oh, not only just flashes them, but flashes them and does like a movie bouncing around type thing.
Yeah, slow motion nonsense. Yeah.
Like, oh hey, cool, thanks for you to show up. Here's my boobs. Bum, bum, bum,
something that happens in college, I guess.
Like what? Like again, it's like this.
Yeah, no.
Puberty kid. Hey, girls, to show your boobs. Okay.
Well, it gets even worse in the next part. So
yeah.
It turns out at some point the frat guys have robbed the boys, and so they have no choice but to skip the bars they were planning on go to and go back to the frat. That's rough.
Right.
Rough.
Sad.
Not sure how Kevin got those fake IDs now, since he didn't have any money in his wallet.
Yeah, not explained at all. He just shows up like, oh, what took you so long? Well, I didn't know he left, but okay, like right. Sure, let's go with this.
But the frat is having a party that an 80s Skinemax movie would call too much.
Right.
We have a band with girls in cages. One just a standard cage dancer. The other with two girls making out while dancing.
Yeah, so it's full-on stripper show even inside, too, with poles and everything.
We have topless girls pouring shots into guys' mouths. A weed girl handing out joints in just a giant pile of loose weed.
Yeah.
I guess you can just scoop out of if you want. More random topless women, a stripper on the bar, and a champagne tower filled with God knows what. And a dominatrix is just there because fun.
Just because, yep.
Teague has two girls on his arms.
Smacking the one dude in a full body cast, basically.
Right.
That's a weird joke. But okay.
Teague has two girls on his arm, both from Penthouse. One was Pet of the Year. So yeah, it turns out that the cash in the boys' wallets and the credit cards, they paid for it all in like a moment's notice.
Yep.
And apparently Vern Troyer, Mini-Me from the Austin Powers movies, is there too.
He could just show up within less than 24 hours.
Paid for all this with just what was on the credit cards.
Yeah.
In a day. Yeah. Less than a day.
Yep.
But
were you also angry, by the way, when they basically tried to rip off the Animal House joke about the brother or cousin or whatever who was a legacy?
Queef?
Yeah. It's just like, this is just straight from Animal House. Like, you barely changed anything of this joke.
Right.
Like, good Lord.
I guess. I mean,
but anyway,
there was a part of that I actually kind of liked that I was going to save for supporting characters.
You can still save it. I just wanted to bring it up because there's things that made me angry, which I think this is what this category is at this point.
Yeah, well, last thing I want to say, because I'm almost done.
Fair enough.
I enjoyed seeing Vern Troyer pee on Carter after Teague has outed the boys to the party that they are still in high school.
See, I didn't laugh at that one.
Oh, I didn't laugh. I just enjoyed seeing Carter get peed on by Vern Troyer.
There was two moments of Vern Troyer that I enjoyed. There was one where
he tells Bearcat to pick me up, bitch.
Yeah, and he's like, don't call me bitch in front of my friends, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I was like, that was, I guess, slightly amusing. Not that I made any kind of visual cue to that. And then there was another one that was actually during the credits thing.
Oh, I missed it.
Where Bearcat is like yelling at him that Mike Myers saved him and he's not funny, and gave this very serious like speech to him or whatever, and then they break, and it's like that was probably the most entertaining thing this whole movie had, and it was in their credits just from that part, and that was about it.
So I gave this category a 1.5.
See, this is where I want 1.
Well, what the fuck do you know about welfare reform? Just kind of out of nowhere. I was like, what?
Yeah, I guess maybe if I
surprise
caught that.
Surprise me.
Yeah. it's rough. It's fun. I did even write though. Outtakes are somehow worse than the movie.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't. This movie's so bad.
So supporting characters.
Yeah, sure.
Alona Tall is in this movie as Gina, and she's really pretty and deserves better than this. She was in Veronica Mars, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
So,
she's like the only one I really like recognized. And yeah, she's got basically 2.5 scenes, basically the breakup, trying to get back together, and then like her face reactions to her ex having fun. But yeah, nothing great there. Though to be fair, like I thought when she did go a little overly harsh in the breakup, like that was like she was doing making a lot out of nothing. So, God bless.
Teague is played by Nick Zano, and he's portrayed as both being a ladies' man and a loser that gets off with blow-up dolls.
It made no sense.
I honestly thought the blow-up dolls jokes died with Married with Children, so I was like, really? We're doing this?
But it doesn't make sense for him to look the way he does, to show him with tons of girls, clearly already getting with girls, because that was the whole thing to Kendall's character we'll talk about next. So it's not like he's not having trouble getting laid. He's very much getting laid, and he's obviously a very attractive person too. So him with the blow-up doll, it's funny to laugh at, I guess, but it doesn't make any sense. So you're just more confused at it than can laugh at it.
Yeah. He runs the frat and really gets off on torturing freshmen, but I guess their antics became too much and they're suspended from taking in new pledges, which is why Kevin and his friends become so appetizing to them. And he takes things up a notch when Kevin befriends Kendall, who Teague had previously hooked up with.
And seems to still want to hook up with, but doesn't want to be in a relationship, I guess, which is, I guess, part of Kendall and Teague's falling out, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bearcat.
Probably the best thing in the movie.
Probably is. Played by Gary Owen. This frat is, by the way, is the Beta Chi. He's the big doofus of the frat. Because they always have to have one in these movies.
Yeah, he's like the ogre of this movie.
Right. He's clearly gay. And not really hiding it.
They make it pretty blatant.
But what's funny is like the rest of the frat bros can't seem to pick up on it.
Yeah, somehow.
So like the most obvious was he's like in almost one of the first things he says when we meet him. Is that one guy was Queef's cousin, remember him? God, that guy could toss a salad. That thing he do with his tongue, and they just stare at him. He's like, sorry, that guy was a loser. What?
Yeah. And they were all really excited to watch these high school guys do body, way more than just body shots. I mean, it's
off of Bearcat, yeah.
Yeah, off taking shots out of his butt crack, taking shot glasses out of his mouth, licking lime juice, I guess, off his hairy chest. It's just
about that too. So like earlier that night,
what's entertaining for this?
Earlier that night, they send the boys to the gay frat as a joke.
Right. This is way more gay.
Right? I'm like, which is the gay frat? This
is pretty gay, guys. Yeah.
For real. I mean, we were actually at the gay frat party, and there was nothing happening at that party that was as gay as that.
I would rather be at the gay frat party.
They all seemed like they were having fun.
It also seemed just like, I don't know, cleaner and
that's another thing too about this Beta Chi frat. It looks like a goddamn dump.
Yeah.
And yet it's always hopping.
Anyway.
Yeah.
For sure.
So we got Kendall.
I want to say one more thing about Bearcat.
Please do.
There was like a moment where I was like, there's something that could have been funny here, and it just wasn't.
Sure.
Which is when Morris is looking for something else to do because he's want to drink, and he sees Punch or whatever, and before he arrives to the Punch, you see Bearcat just dumping liquor into it.
4 bottles of liquor.
Yeah, which I'm hoping is like, this better be like grain or something, because it doesn't make any sense that he's like, oh, this is delicious, I taste nothing. And then like Bearcat also just like throws and like breaks the glasses behind him or whatever. And it's just like, man, this could have been funny. Maybe in like, because I feel like I could see something like this happening in like Animal House, but done well.
Meanwhile, in this scene, by the way, there is like two people just like
Having full on sex.
right on against a wall, just like just cause it's like
Just cause.
what college did this happen at? This doesn't happen. It's not a thing.
Yeah. Again, this puberty kid wrote this movie.
Right.
It's just freaking ridiculous. But I thought, like, again, I'm like watching. I'm like, so what? Like, is it just bad casting and writing and directing? Just all these things combined? Because like maybe something could have happened there. I don't know.
I want to blame the writing first and foremost. I think that's.
Yeah.
I don't know how you recover from a script this bad. I just don't.
I think there's got to be some bad
and what kills me too
directing
is that,
here too.
Probably because she never worked again.
Yeah.
But like the guy who wrote, one of the guys, there's two writers on this. One of them is called, his name is Dan Callahan, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah, no G.
Yeah. So not technically our people, but still,
Yep,
it's like
not our people.
That hurt my feelings. So you got Kendall, played by Haley Bennett. She's attracted to Kevin, but can't stand that he lied to her about being in college. She swears it wouldn't have mattered to her, but in reality, that's just very much not true.
Very much not true. Probably just saving face at that point. But yeah, I mean, she hooked up with a guy who made it sound like they were going to be more serious, and it wasn't, and still looks like he wants to hook up, and she doesn't like it and saying no, and it's just like, this is not a story.
Nope.
It's like, oh, we're going to get backstory here. There's something here. And it's like, there's really not. There's nothing here. Yeah.
And then,
okay.
So afterwards, Kevin and Kendall have, wow, they really can't believe they gave both K names, but they have a heart to heart, and she says, "I don't even know who you are. To be honest, I'm not even sure anymore. Maybe it's time you figure that out." This exchange must be banned from movies for at least 20 years.
That's fair.
I have heard this exact same three lines said back to back so many goddamn times. We need to stop it.
This kind of goes to your writing point, right? Like, none of it lands because, like, all you have is, like, maybe Morris being like, hey, this isn't you. But there's never any, like, there should have been some kind of moment where you see Kevin contemplating before he does something, or something to show that, like, this isn't me, but I'm pushing through. Yeah. Like, I'm having fun, so here I go. But, like, you never get that.
Nope.
Ever. So it doesn't really land or make any sense. So that's why I'm almost saying, like, this is, yes, bad writing, but there's got to be some bad directing here, because I don't think they give the actor a chance to try to show this.
But there's nothing in the script to show. Like, it's not on the page.
I mean, but you can have a kid at least facially act like, okay, here we go. Like, I'm going to do this, but I don't really want to. Like, you can show that without saying it. And that's why I'm thinking
you're not wrong
you got a perfect concoction of bad.
Yeah, no. Well, hey, no one gets flowers for this movie.
No.
So I gave this one 1-2. I have nothing else to say about supporting characters unless you.
I also gave it a 1.
Yeah. So yeah, 3.5.
That's what I got to.
Yeah.
Yep, 3.5, man. I mean, the only other things I have in here is like, you do have the one other frat guy, which I is it Cooper? I don't know. He's just there, like he has.
Is he the one who got duct taped to the statue at the end of the movie?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell.
And he's like the one that like first talks to them.
Right.
Before Teague's like, hey, we should use them.
While they were all like shitting with paintballs from.
Right.
Like wow, where were the cops? What? Like, this
which is like
fly.
just again another kind of Animal House. Is just instead of golf balls, it's this. It is just not funny. Especially because it's like, at least in like Animal House, right? It's golf balls, but they're like doing it to like bad characters or bad people or whatever. So you're like it's humorous, right? And this is just like random people. So you're just like, these guys are just assholes.
Yeah, they're like hitting Niedermeyer in his like, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. And then you get like Heather, again, who just likes Morris for no reason, and that's about it. And then Amy, again, who turns out to be a high schooler who likes Carter for no freaking reason.
How about them having sex in broad daylight in the car?
In the trunk of a car, yeah.
It's just like, sure, that's something that happens.
Yeah, because who want a piece of that? In
broad daylight.
Yeah. Again, it's just awful, and none of them bring really anything worthwhile, and it's just, it's a total 3.5, and for me, it is the worst movie on the list.
Worst movie we've ever seen doing this show.
Because at least you're right. Like Sorceress, there is some
I got to laugh at Sorceress. I couldn't laugh.
There's some entertaining stuff to be, Was it last that season? Was Sorceress last? I don't remember.
No, Sorceress's first season was actually.
No, I know. I just mean like last of that first season. Was it last place? I don't remember.
Oh yeah, pretty sure it was.
Okay. There's definitely way more entertaining things. I'm curious, what was the worst on horror? Is this it really? Probably you're right. It might be the worst.
I don't know. Anyway, so this movie had a budget of $7 million and grossed worldwide a little over $6.2 million.
It's too much.
Debuted at number 15, losing to Tropic Thunder in its third week of release.
Fair.
The other new movies released that week were Babylon AD, Traitor, and Disaster Movie, which all made more
Babylon
money.
AD?
We talked about this before because this is also the week that Hamlet 2 went into its widest release.
Okay.
And that is a Vin Diesel movie, a sci-fi Vin Diesel movie.
Gotcha. Okay. He had a few random movies that I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah, this is like before he got back into the Fast and the Furious.
Right, because it didn't. What was it? There was like another hunter type of supernatural-ish thing he did. And I was like, ugh.
Split Second was the lowest rated of the horror movies.
Yeah, I think I'd rather watch Split Second again, too.
Oh, without even question. I'd rather watch Split Second twice in a row. Same with Sorceress.
This is the worst movie we've seen.
Easily.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so that's it. That's all I have to say about College. Bad movie. Don't ever watch it.
Yeah, really. I'm actually apologize. Like, I don't even know if this episode is like entertaining enough for our audience. Like, this is like.
Well, let's make it at least short so we can move on to the next thing.
Yeah, rough, man. It's your pick.
Yeah, I need a slight pick me up, but I don't want to hit any of the heavy hitters quite yet.
Fair.
So I'm gonna go with Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Okay, solid pick.
It's on Tubi and Plex right now.
Okay.
So you can still stream it for free.
All right, cool. Yeah, I've definitely seen Zack and Miri a few times.
I only seen it once. Cool.
Yeah, I've seen it a few, and it's pretty entertaining. I think it gets a bit underratedness about it, but a lot of good actors in it. So I think it'll be a solid choice. I'm excited.
All right, cool.
All right, that is it for us. Please show your support for the podcast by leaving a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, where you happen to listen to the show. Also, sharing is caring. Be sure to follow us on social media to get the latest show updates. You can contact us by emailing at filmbrochamp@gmail.com or find us by searching for the hashtag FilmBroChamp. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Film Bros Champ podcast. Peace out, everyone.
I can't believe we paid for that.
Yeah, bro.